Hello and welcome, everybody. We're so glad that you are joining us today. We are going to be talking about vacation rentals. I'm Karen Conrad Metcalf, Vice President of Wealth Builders, and I have with me today Bill Bronchek.
Thank you, Karen. It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, Bill is the most amazing real estate attorney, and we do a lot of things together with Bill, Wealth Builders and Bill. And what we're going to be sharing with you is this is a really interesting topic. Why 5 reasons why vacation rentals may not be for you. How about that twist, Bill?
Yeah. Well, some people may, be thinking, "Hey, this is not for me." So let's feed your suspicions and let's discuss some of these issues.
That sounds good. All right, number one, here's something to think about. You may not like the retail hospitality business. What do you think about that, Bill?
Yeah, not everybody's a people person, because you're dealing with customers and different customers almost on a sometimes daily and certainly weekly basis. You could have 50 or more different customers in a year. If you're not in the customer service business, or you haven't been before, and you don't like dealing with customers, and especially customers like to complain, then if you don't know how to deal with that, you're going to have a difficult time in the business. However, you don't have to deal with that yourself. There are professional management companies who will handle all facets of dealing with your customers, and all you have to deal with is the numbers. Finding properties, putting the math together, buying the properties, and cashing the checks.
That's really good, Bill. And it is just having multiple vacation rentals. It is definitely a hospitality business. And reviews are so important, right?
Yeah.
And so you really need to learn how to service people. There's a way to communicate with them. And we'll be covering a lot more about that in an upcoming event. All right, here's number two. You may want to be more hands off with long-term rentals.
Right. So some people want to be passive investors. They don't want active involvement in their investors. And certainly this is not hands off, especially if you manage it yourself. However, again, you could hire a property manager and make it more hands-off. However, you're going to be dealing with issues on a regular basis. Even on my long-term rentals, I deal with my property manager on a regular basis just because we have a lot of rentals. However, you could be a silent partner. You can partner with someone who runs it and you're just a money partner. Or you could set up a scenario where you do not just short-term rentals like by the night, by the weekend, but we call intermediate rentals. Sometimes they call them executive rentals, for people who are just in a city for a couple of months and want to rent for 30 or 60 days or more. Then you have fewer customers. So it's a little more hands-off in that sense, and you're getting paid by a corporation, not by individuals. So there's fewer chargebacks and things like that you have to deal with on a regular basis. But there's plenty of ways to make this more hands-off than hands-on. And some people want to be, that's the flip side. Some people really like hands-on, and that's okay. Some people don't like it, and that's okay. You just bring in either, a really good, comprehensive full service management company, or you bring in a partner.
That's so good, Billy. I like how you're, taking these problems and giving us the solution. There's always a way to make something work. And so that's
That's
super
right.
helpful. All right, here we go. Number three, you may not like the idea of buying properties outside of your area.
Right. And this is a struggle that I had for a long time. I wanted to be over near all my properties that I can kick the tires whenever I wanted to. And then I bought my first property. It was an apartment building in South Florida when I live in Colorado, and I never saw it. It made a
You
lot of
never
money.
thought.
I did visit it after a few years, and I was really, really scared. I had nightmares because it was not in a good neighborhood. So it was probably better I didn't see it, because it made really good money on paper. But I got emotional. I got emotional about it. But I've owned many properties in other states and other cities that I've never seen. I bought them. I had professional management. The math worked well. I hired a broker to sell them. We dealt with phones, email and text and Zoom more recently, and it worked out just fine. It worked out just fine. So you don't necessarily have to be. What I recommend is if you're going to invest in another market, then pick one market. Don't have like one in Miami, one in Seattle, one in LA. Then you're trying to figure out the rules in a bunch of
Yeah.
different jurisdictions. So if it doesn't work where you are, or there's too much competition where you are, then find a market that works good, visit it, get the lay of the land, and find a few property managers and brokers who can help you, and then just buy them all in that same area.
I really like that, Bill. And then you can get a good property manager, or like with our situation, my son and his wife live here. So sometimes if you've got a relative that's nearby and they have an interest in helping you manage the vacation rentals or executive rentals, that can actually be a win-win as well.
Absolutely.
All right, number 4, you have no sense of style to decorate a property.
Well, that's me, like most men. So again, that's something you can hire professionals for. You don't necessarily have to furnish everything yourself, and especially if you don't have a sense of style, don't. There are companies that will furnish it for you, and also you could learn. That's a skill you can learn from someone like Karen, who's really good at making things cutesy and fun without spending a lot of money, and that's the key. You can spend a lot of money and make it beautiful, but you don't want to do that. You want to spend as little as possible to make it nice and presentable and cozy and so forth.
Yeah, that's good. Really good, Bill. And I think people can learn it. I've got actually a book we'll be talking about 7 seconds where I've put the ideas together to help. We've got checklists that we're going to be providing for you at this event that's coming up. But there's a lot of ways to get deals on furniture. So we'll be covering that. And there's just some things that you just know, hey, this is an important touch. This we don't need to do. But I like to describe it like this, just real briefly. When you walk into a hotel, it's usually stale. It's not homey. And so when you do your vacation rental or your executive rental, you have to realize that people had an option to go to a hotel and they didn't go to a hotel. They wanted something that
Right.
is more homey. So even in that, just making a
Right.
distinction.
One exception, though. One exception is
What's
you've been to
that?
the Broadmoor.
Oh, that is a great, yeah, it's a really good
600 to 800 a night. That's a little different. uh,
That's so
but
good.
you are correct. Your average, Marriott or Holiday Inn, or it's stale. It's boring. It's really lame.
Yeah, it is. And that's why they choose our vacation rentals. So good. All right, number 5, you don't have the funds to purchase a property right now. Boy, this is a good one, Bill.
Yeah, so you don't necessarily have to buy a property to rent it out short term. Start with your own house. So let's say you decide that every Thanksgiving or Christmas or whatever holidays you go visit family in another city. Rent out your property. You can do that. You don't have to have a dedicated property to make money at this. A lot of people also rent apartments and then sublet them out. Now, I hope they're asking their landlords if that's
I
okay,
hope so too.
but I've seen plenty on VRBO and especially on Airbnb where people say, I have an apartment right on the beach over here, and you could, I'll sublet it to you for a week. And I assume they're getting their landlord's permission, but maybe they're paying a fee. For allowing them to do that, or maybe there's a limit of how many days a month they can do that. And if you wanted to create that scenario, you could certainly lease a property, and I'll be talking about this at our upcoming training. You could lease a property for a 3 to 5 year term with an explicit right to sublet to Airbnb, VRBO, short-term vacation rental customers, and you don't have to buy the property. You just have to have access to it, and you can make cash flow.
Wow, that's so good, Bill. And we've given people 5 reasons that they may not want to be in vacation rentals, but the way that you've described it, I think everybody would say, "Hey, I can overcome that obstacle." And vacation rentals, they're just, I love the title of our seminar, for fun and for profit.
Right.
So I think we should tell people about the event that we have coming up. It is on December 7th and it's called the Intensive Short-Term Rental Seminar for fun and for profit, and it's all day on Saturday, December 7th. Now, your best deal is to come in person because the networking, hands-on, we're going to do some fun design things. We're going to run calculations. It's going to be a very busy day in a good way because you're going to get really engaged in learn how to do this and what you need to know. But you can join on live stream as well. And I just want to share with you how to go ahead and get registered for this. You can go to wealthbuilders.org. And actually, there's a banner right on the front that you can click on, or go to wealthbuilders.org/events. And then, Bill, we also have a special Friday night option. Do you want to share with people about that VIP package?
Yeah, so if you're going to attend live, I recommend it's just a few bucks more to do the VIP package, and we have a special food and beverage and schmoozing.
I like that.
The
Schmoozing.
schmoozing. Or some people, if you're a Christian, you call that fellowship. You're Jew, you call that schmoozing. But it's just, people getting together and talking with each other and the experts. And Karen and I will be there to share ideas and network and, meet potential partners like we talked about. If you want to be a hands-off investor, find yourself someone at the Friday Night VIP who might be a hustler for you and make a good partnership. So
Yeah,
that
great.
that's just an amazing experience in and of itself, and it's only a few bucks more. The whole event is not expensive, so go to wealthbuilders.org or wealthbuilders.org/events, and you can see all about it. And remember, if you can't make it at all, then at least sign up for the streaming option, because it will be recorded and available for you for a time period after the event where you can watch it later, but not forever. So, and if you want to do this in 2025, hey, let's get going. You got 6 weeks to get prepared so you can be up and running for the new year.
Yeah, 2025 is going to be a great year of opportunity. So again, we really encourage you to be a part of this. Thanks so much, Bill. This has been a lot of fun, and we're really looking forward to just spending time with each other and with all of you to really have a great day learning about short-term and vacation rentals. Thank you so much, and have a great rest of the day.